Okay, I think we're on. All right. Well, hi everyone. I'm Adrian. I work at SKATTLE, a little counselling service, family counselling service in Brisbane. And we are in shutdown mode at the moment. We've been working from home and not seeing our clients. And I was talking with one of my colleagues, who's a family counsellor as well, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and I was talking. Hey. So I was talking to Alex a few days over the last few days, just about some of the themes that are coming out while we're in this sort of shutdown mode. Yeah, and Alex said a few things that I thought were really interesting and maybe worth having a quick chat about today and putting up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I was just talking to Adrian about a couple of thoughts that that I'd been having with watching everything play out at the moment with coronavirus, and some of just sort of talking about some of my reactions into having, we're all going to be having our kids at home a lot more and all working from home, and watching everyone sort of navigate the, offering some school at home, and I was sort of lots of things have been popping up on my social media feeds, like lists of tasks for the day, or like a semi little daily curriculum sort of thing that parents are posting, and it just, and also like lots of tips and resources, which is really good, that people are sharing that stuff around how to also like stay mentally healthy and okay during this time of being at home. But I was sort of like looking at some of the stuff going around and thinking, oh wow, like that's a lot of stuff, and I don't think I'll be able to do that. Do all those things, like some of them are quite big. So I was just talking to that about Adrian about, and around the expectations that are coming with these messages, like for us at home with kids and what we should be doing. And I was sort of thinking like, anyway, I might hand back over to you, Adrian.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's sort of, I think when we were talking about it, and we decided it might be a good thing to record, it's this sort of expectation that things, well, this is a sense I've had anyway, and it comes with great intention that, we sort of carry on and we keep educating our children, and Alex and I both have little children, just to add that context, who are still in daycare at the moment, but, we are going into that kind of transition mode. And I suppose a lot of the stuff I've been seeing has come with that good intention, but to sort of that expectation to keep it rolling, keep the education rolling, and keep it, my little girl is in kindy, and it's around, what are you going to be doing to keep stimulating her so that she's learning and doing all the great stuff that the expert early educators do with our kids every day, right? And I think what I found really interesting in what you were saying, Alex, is like, I've been feeling, and what I resonate with, I've been feeling like this is a time to slow down a bit. Like we're being forced to back to our homes and back to our little family units. And this is a horrible experience that the world's going through at the moment, but it's about trying to find those opportunities within this experience rather than seeing it as this horrible imposition that we have to now become, our kids' teachers as well as their parents, as well as, their carers and everything else we do. And it just, it's felt a bit overwhelming, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And I sort of think, I was thinking about the schooling stuff, and I think, governments have been everyone's sort of in that reacting mode because it's so big what's happening, and we've never been through it before. And so, the school system is saying, okay, we've got to move online. And so teachers are saying, here's the work. And so parents are like, okay, we have to get on with this stuff. And when really, like for lots of years now, when I was thinking about it, like teachers, parents there, and you know, government, there's been a lot of talk about how huge school is for our kids and how overcrowded the curriculum is, how busy they are for such little people, you know, from such a young age, and people wanting less, and teachers talking about how they're having to teach to test and things like that because there is so much. And it's like, this is forcing a break from that, because, you know, that's what people have been calling for, is to do this education stuff a bit differently. And this is, yeah, forcing that. And so I was thinking about, as I was watching, like, how people are continuing elements of school at home, and I was like, oh, I think there is just a great opportunity for us to just be with our kids, break, play, and yeah, it just had me thinking about that, like, and start thinking about, what do we want to, how is it going to look after this? Like this, we don't know how long this kids are going to be home with us at the moment, but with it will be different, and it will change the way our kids are learning, and what, yeah, like what, how can we kind of hold on to parts of that when things do open up again and school goes back, like, yeah, it just got me thinking about opportunities for big change around that.
It's a chance for, yeah, I mean, it would be lovely to think that it's a chance for a bit of a reset. As you're talking, I was just thinking, like, I know with my daughter, you know, she's in kindy 5 days a week, and yeah, it's definitely been a big adjustment this year to being in that pretty intense space with 20 other kids or whatever. And by I find on Sunday or Saturday she's still pretty, you know, busy, and then by Sunday, Sunday is my favorite day. She really slows down, and is just easing into the weekend of, we're not doing stuff all the time. And of course we've got, you know, toys and stuff to play with, and, you know, games. She's really into puzzles at the moment, but, you know, and that's stimulation, but it's not at such an intense level. And I wonder what that is for school kids as well, where schools are really chaotic places often. And that chance to sort of slow down and be in the more, maybe a more gentle pace, like, is a beautiful opportunity. It'd be lovely to think that we could take advantage of that a bit over this period. As we were talking just before, I saw a family walk past, a mum and two what looked like school-age kids. I thought, how cool is that? It was like, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, and they just looked like really happily going for a walk together. And maybe, you know, in the busyness of life, often they wouldn't have that opportunity. Often they wouldn't, you know, maybe they're off to extracurricular activities or something else. It's a nice thing to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And what, yeah, like, I wonder what, like, yeah, it sort of got me thinking what other things families will notice themselves doing that they don't usually do, and with their kids, and but also, like, for us as adults at working, what the slowdown looks like, you know. And it'll be interesting to see, like, I'd love to hear from people about like their productivity level, like, because we're so conditioned to this 9 to 5 produce work, get things done, and what has working from home, or like doing this more, it's more of like an integrated living where we're working, we're parenting all at the same time. But yeah, I'm interested to know, like, how people have found it's impacted their productivity, like work-wise. Like, is it, or has it been all right? Like, yeah, I don't know. I suppose, again, like, what does that mean for the future in terms of work flexibility? We were starting that journey, I think, as a society, but we still had a long way to go.
Yeah. And what if we were more productive by having a bit more work flexibility. What does that mean?
Yeah, like you were just saying earlier too about how you're going for much more regular walks throughout the day
Yeah,
at the moment, because
yeah,
if your dog, you're rehabbing your dog, but like, yeah, like all that stuff, rather than just being inside, sitting for these long periods. Yeah, like
yeah.
what,
And
what's
I had a supervision session the other day where I was talking to someone, and they were saying that they feel like in this slowdown so far, they've been connecting with their team, their staff, and they feel like they've actually been a bit more intentional around the connections, and they were talking about feeling like they've gotten more connected in the last week, just as a group. They're having
yeah,
these sort of 3 or 4 way conversations on mediums like you and I are talking on today. And I don't know, they said like there's something about even though you're not doing like a tour of the house or whatever, and you do it in a plain room like you and I are, there's something about being in someone's home on some level that's a bit more personal, and you might hear the dog barking or see a kid run through the back of the room or something, and they've been a bit more intentional about it too in how they're connecting, like because they're not in the busyness all the time of, all
yeah,
right, we've got this 1 hour blocked out for our meeting now, let's go. They've been a bit more intentional about, again, slowing down and having a bit more meaningful conversations. So that's really fascinating, isn't it? That
yeah,
even though we're in theory much more disconnected, you
yeah,
might actually find different connections that are happening through the kind of conversations like you and I are having today.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
It is pretty cool, and not always thinking what's next, what's
What's
next,
next?
but
What's
just
next?
more.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
It could
Yeah,
be my there was a thing going around Facebook the other day. It was around, could this be a time of healing for a
yeah.
society that's gone so far the other way of busyness and do more kind of thing? Could this
Mm,
be a time of healing? I was like, oh, that's a bit,
yeah,
yeah, I had to really process that, but I love it. Like maybe it could.
absolutely. It makes me think, like, with all the talk around, you know, how to help people stay mentally healthy through this time, you sort of wonder, well, is it actually, maybe it could be a time where people are gonna be at their most, at their healthiest, because,
Yeah, yeah,
um, yeah, because our brains will be quieter, and
yeah,
we will be doing that better connecting, like, with
yeah,
our families, and
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
communicating in different ways, like,
yeah,
what maybe it's a preference for some people to communicate in less formal face-to-face ways, like, that could be an opportunity to, I mean, I know for us we're still doing our sessions and meeting with families and other people online like this, and yeah, often it can be a chance to explore. It might be a nicer medium for some people. They might feel more comfortable. I had a guy I saw years ago, and he used to we did a couple of video sessions, and he used to he said that he preferred video sessions because he could, when he wanted to, just turn away. And we didn't have to sort of eyeball each other. But he said in a session when we're face to face, you can't just do that. It's really rude. But when you're
yeah,
on video, he said, I'd know you're there, but I just sort of look off and I could just process my own thoughts without having to maintain all these social norms or cues as well. Fascinating. Like, that's
you're
he
allowed to do different stuff, yeah.
that was his way of more like better connection. So we ended up doing all our sessions online. It was really cool. So I don't think that's unique. I think we all have our different ways. And again, speaking of in terms of opportunities, this is a chance to explore some of that stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
we're doing it actually just through doing this. We've never done this for
yeah,
our kind of community before. We've never taken the chance. We're being forced to explore our technological skills a bit more, Alex.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, we're going to chuck this up on Facebook and a few other places, and maybe we can do a couple more. We'll see how we go.
Sounds good. Look forward to it.
And we'd love, while I'm still talking to whoever's watching this, we'd love any comments or ideas that you have that have come up as you've listened to this, and we'll stay in touch. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Adrian. Bye.
See you soon. See ya.